Yes. Today we will be covering MMPA 006 Organizational Dynamics, Block 3 Power Dynamics and Role of Leaders. Leaders play a very important role in an organization. Let's see in a elaborative manner how the leaders and the leadership styles really work in an organization. Leadership. Leadership is the process of influencing, guiding, and directing individuals or groups to achieve common goals. It involves vision, communication, motivation, and decision making. Leader is said to be known a person who inspire others. He is not an inspirational figure, but also a very charismatic motivator, a good visionary, and a good communicator, and of course a decision maker who take the decisions on behalf of their team, the individuals, the employees. Leadership is not only a authoritative or hierarchically by role, it plays a very important role in an organization where the leaders not only inspires but also plays a very important role to integrate the individual roles with the organization goals. So let's see what are the characteristics of leaders. Leaders are vision oriented. Here the vision oriented is they are very visionary in their own role, not only in their own role but also for the organization. So leadership involves having a clear vision and the ability to set direction for others to follow. Here others is not only their team but also the other people in an organization. Second is influence based. Leaders play a very important role in influencing the people around them. It is about influencing other thoughts, their actions, their behavior. It is not only to be on a position. Sometimes even the middle managers or the lower people also plays a very important role in influencing by their own thoughts, with their own attitude, their own personality. They are people centric. Effective leadership focus on understanding, supporting, and developing people. Leaders are goal driven. Without goal, there is no leaders. Leaders align not only their own goals, they align the team efforts with organization and the goals to achieve the success. Here, the leaders play a very important role in achieving not only the individual goals or the employees' goals, but also the organization goals. They are inspirational. Leadership includes motivating and energizing others to go beyond their limit. They inspire the other people or the employees or their team to go out of comfort and do something which is benefit not only for their own goals but also for the organization. They are good decision makers. Leaders plays crucial role in decision making, often under pressure that affects the direction of the group. So they are not only visionary, they are influential, they are goal driven, they are inspirational, they are people centric and decision makers. Further, they are empowering. A good leaders empower team members by building confidence and providing opportunities for growth. They are change makers. Leaders often work as or act as change agents. They guide others through transitions and transformations. They Most of the leaders are known to be as transformative leaders, and they play a very important role when the organization is into the changing role, or the employees are changing their job roles and responsibilities or authorities. They are ethical and responsible. When we talk about the ethics and responsibility, there comes the integrity, there comes accountability, and the ethical choices made by the people who take the accountability, and they have integrity within their role. They are known to be as the true leaders or the ethical leaders. They are very focused on the communication. Communication plays a very important role in leadership because the leaders must communicate clearly, consistently, and effectively to ensure the understanding and alignment of the goals of not only the team but also the organization. They are adaptable and resilient. The good leaders adjust their approaches depending on situations, challenges, and the needs of their team. They are collaborative They are oriented towards the collaboration. They believe in collaborative efforts. It's not about fostering teamwork, collaboration, but also the shared responsibility. Because here, the collaborative effort, when we talk about the leadership role, they are more towards more focused on collaborative effort rather than team or to be an authoritative. So they are not only empowered people but also the change makers. They are the change agents. They are the communication focused people. They are adaptable and resilient and collaborative orientation. There are few definitions given by the experts. Warren Bennis defined leadership as the capacity to translate vision into reality. So the leader has to be very visionary. The vision should be has to be very clear with the leaders, because the action can be taken only after the vision is created. So they should have a big vision, because if we see from a in and around in any of the role, all the big leaders have some vision to create, and then after vision, after creating a vision, they start acting on that with a collaborative effort and the with their team or of the employees in an organization. John X. C. Maxwell defines leadership as influence, nothing more, nothing less. It is all about influencing. Influencing here doesn't mean only authoritative position or a person to be on a hierarchical role. It is all about how the person can influence other person through their thoughts, their vision, their out of box thinking, how they can really influence other for any sometimes on a conflict, sometimes on change management, sometimes on mergers and acquisitions, also on the to improve the efficiency or the productivity of an organization. Coach O'Donnell defines leadership is a process of influencing people that they will strive willingly and enthusiastically towards the achievement of group goals. Here, the group goals refers to the organization goals. So, leadership is not only influencing; it is all about influencing with, when a person agrees to their thoughts and their vision willingly at their own choice, which will benefit not only their own individual goals but also the group goals, that is organization goals. Stephen Covey defines leadership as communicating to people their worth and potential clearly, and they come to see it in themselves. So leadership is all about communication. He focused on the communication of the leaders towards their people, towards their team, and within an organization, which not only creates an open-mindedness environment, but also it helps to know the people their worth, which is and their potential, how much they can be able to work, and that is so clear. That communication has to be very clear, that they come to see it in themselves. The importance of leadership. Leadership is an important factor of making an organization successful. It is art of influencing people to perform assigned tasks willingly, efficiently, and competently. Without leadership, a line manager simply cannot be effective. So if the manager is on some hierarchical position and the people are not following, people are not admiring or willingly executing the same the whatever they are asking, so it is very that manager is said to be as ineffective. So it is said that the leadership of the line manager transform potential into reality. When good leadership is in place in an organization, it can be felt throughout the entire organization. So leaders are not only the visionary or the collaborative. It is seen that they have a charismatic personality which influence the people not only by their looks or the personality, but also by their thoughts, their vision, their attitude, and their art of influencing people, where they willingly accept their thoughts, follow their thoughts and work efficiently, and to perform the assigned task to achieve the combined goals. With good leadership, organization culture is not forced but developed. Communication is effective and open. When we talk about the communication skills plays a very important role in leadership style, or any style. But when the communication is open, when it is comes with the open minded, when it comes with the the with a vision, with a with a clear and concrete communication, if communicated by the leader to the employees, it creates an environment which is or creates a organization culture which is you know which is a collaborative effort, which is accepted by all the people in an organization at every level. So the organization culture, when we say a good organization culture, it is created not only by one person, but yes, of course, it is directed, and it is the direction is given by the leaders, the vision is given by the leaders. So everyone understands the vision and goals of an organization, and everybody have input and how they can be improved. This can be done only when the communication is clear and concrete and concise, with an open mindedness, because here the leaders play a very important role at this level. People feel that they are important part of the organization. To making people feel that they are very important for an organization is very important, and that the leaders can do the best of this work. They give the best for the success of all, because this feeling creates a motivation among the employees, where they work very effectively and efficiently to achieve the organization goals. So leaders play a very important role, not only as a good communicator, but the clear and concise communication, with the open mindedness, with accepting the other thoughts, their views, their opinions also play a very important role. As a leader, they need to be very good listener, and they need to be equally very good influencer in terms of communication, where they make the employees to understand their own potential and their own importance within an organization, which ultimately leads to the motivation and efficiency, motivation of the employees, and finally the efficiency of an organization goals. There are certain challenges in leadership as well. The first challenge is to provide a shared vision of where the organization is heading and what is the purpose. The purpose is the mission. The first very important challenge for leadership is to know the people, what is the mission of what is the purpose of an organization, because unless if it is not shared, if it is not communicated properly, then it will be very difficult for the employees to really collaborate, to integrate all the activities within organization goals. The second challenge is to set objectives. Set objective is to convert the strategic vision and direction course into specific performance outcome of each key area which leaders deem important for success. Here the leaders is the challenge for leaders is to set the objectives as per the vision of an organization, to keeping in view the performance outcomes to each functional areas, which is very important, because unless the objectives are not clear, the objectives are not set as per the capabilities and capacity of the employees, it may lead to the non-efficiency of an organization and non-achievement of an goals. So the third challenge is to providing strategic direction. They need to be very good directors, because here they need to work in a very strategic move, where they generate and develop a strategy that will remain how to achieve the objectives. Now here it is a challenge, because it depends, if they whatever strategy they have created, whether the generated strategy or developed strategy that needs to be aligned with the objective, that needs to be aligned with the individual goals, and here the individual's contribution is equally important. Now let's see how the leaders work, how the leaders really, how we look to the leaders. Leaders initiate action. They are the action takers. They are known to be as the action people. Leader is a person who starts the work by communicating the policies and plans to the subordinates from where the works actually starts. Leaders are known to be as takers. It is not only making the plans and policies but also execution of that. When we talk about the action, the on the top management, the action is all about designing the policies and plans, and later on in the middle and lower management it is more of an execution of these policies and plan that can be communicated clearly to the subordinates on every level. Second, leaders are the second functional area is motivation. The leaders proves to be playing an incentive role in the concern working. He motivates the employees with economic and non-economic rewards, and thereby gets the work from the subordinates. Unless the employees are not motivated, it is very sometimes difficult for the leaders or the managers to get the work done. A good management is known to be as how the things can be done within the stipulated time and very cost effective. Here the motivation plays a very important role. How the leaders motivate their subordinates, how the leaders align their subordinates with the rewards, with the sometimes the rewards can be economic in terms of incentives. Sometimes the rewards also can be non-economic, like tapping a whenever a subordinate get the good work or do the task within the stipulated time or achieve the goal or the targets, the tap on the back plays a very important role as a non-economic reward, or maybe the appreciation within the team and recognition within the organization plays a very important role. Here the leader plays a very important role in recognizing and making them feel as an important employee of an organization. So the leaders play a very important role in motivating their own team, the people around them, and get the things done, get the work done from the subordinate within the stipulated time and the targets given to them. Providing guidance, they work as a guide also. They are not only the motivators or the action takers, they are equally guide. They are not only there to supervise but also to guide the subordinates. Guidance here means instructing the subordinates the way they have to perform their work efficiently and effectively. They work as a guide to them in terms of in the process of doing their work. So this gives not only the motivation but also an inspiration to an employee, to the subordinates, that if in case they get this gives confirmation in their mind, in their thoughts, that if something happens to be if I cannot be able to do the work efficiently within the process, somebody is there who can guide me, who directs me towards the goals in a role model, in a way of guide to them, rather than only a supervisor or only as a director to them. Creating confidence, leaders play a very important role in creating the confidence among the people. This expression, that is the targets which can be achieved, this is very important to for the subordinates when the guidelines are given to them, when the goals are given to them, because it is equally important to make them understand that they can be able to do whatever is assigned to them. So the leaders play a very important role in creating a confidence among the subordinates or the team to achieve the goals. Building model. Model denotes willing cooperation. It is not only about following the leaders, but when subordinates willingly follow the leaders, they are performance driven employees. It is seen that their productivity is much more above than their normal working way of working. So here, the cooperation of the employees towards the work and getting them in confidence and winning their trust. This is all about how the leader can be able to boost the morale of their employees with full cooperation. It is seen that in most of the organization, when the subordinates say uh, some specific phrases, yes boss, we are with you, yes sir, we are with you, we'll achieve the goal within the time. It is so this is all about because their morale is already boosted by their bosses or their leaders or their managers. So that creates the work environment, that creates the culture, because leaders plays a very important role in building the work environment also. The management is not only about getting things done from people, but also they has to be very clear on the efficiency of the work and the stable growth of an organization. So this work culture, this organization culture is created not only by the leaders. It is a collaborative effort with the boosted moral people, the more confident employees, the confident subordinates, and where they are aligned with the organization goals. Finally, the coordination is very important activity which is achieved through reconciling the personal interest with the organization goal. It is seen that every individual have their specific objectives, specific goals. Now how these goals are achieved along with the organization goals, how it can be aligned, how it can be synchronized with the through proper coordination among the leaders and the subordinates. This is very important, this is a very primary motive of leader, because the leaders when they are assigned the top management assign them the vision or the organization goals, they need to be transferred to their subordinates. Here the importance of coordination plays the integration of the individual goals, because there they know their team, there they know their individual goals, how they are aligning, how they are coordinating and integrate all these goals along with their team. That is a very important feature, very important function of a leader. So when we say leaders are action takers, they are motivators, they are guides, they work as a role models, they create the confidence, they build the morale, they are responsible for boosting the employees to get the things done on time. They are the creators of the work environment and the coordinators. Generally interlink leaders and managers are same, but the characteristics of leaders and managers are different. Managers are known to be more as administrators, whereas leaders are innovators. Managers are whatever is given, the work given to them, they just copy it and do this, whereas the leaders go out of box thoughts, they are original people. Managers maintain the work, the assigned to them, whereas leaders are known to be known for the development of the works assigned to them. Managers focus on system and structure, whereas leaders focus on people. Managers relies on control, whereas leaders inspire trust. The base of the leadership is based on the trust among the people, among the subordinates and the team of the leaders. Managers have short range view, whereas leaders have long range view. In our life, whenever we had this kind of leaders in our professional and personal life, we never forget them. We always follows their the way of working, or how they are sometimes the role models which inspires us. So that is a long range perspective which we carries on in our entire life. So managers are they ask how and when the things can be done. They are mostly the directors, whereas the leaders ask what and why. How the things can be done is asked by the managers. It's seen, whereas the leaders ask what can be done, what they values the opinions and the views, and why we are they always looking further for reasoning about not doing, or maybe doing in the best of the manners. The managers have eye on the bottom line, whereas leaders have eye on the horizon. Managers generally imitates the process, imitates the policies, whereas leaders are known for originates the processes. If there is any loophole, or is there any problem within the process, they originate, or they find another way to do the process in the more effective manner. Managers accept the status quo, whereas leaders challenges the status quo. Managers are good; they are the classic good soldiers. They follows whatever is given to them, whatever duties and responsibilities are given to them as per their role and as per their hierarchy, whereas the leaders own a person. They are himself has an attitude, a way of working. They are the original people. They believe in not only executing but also find out the way of working if there is any changes are required. So managers does things right. Again, leaders does the right thing. So the thing does thing right here refers to that whatever is given on paper, whatever is as per the policy, the procedures, they follow that. Whereas leaders does the right thing. The leaders follow the policies and procedures, but in case if there is anything which is not acceptable, which is not good, they are the people who not they challenges that processes. They comes in front to find out the another way or the alternative way to do the same task in more efficient manner. So this is a difference between manager and leaders. Sometimes we interlink managers and leaders. Managers can be good leaders, keeping in view that they not only maintain the policies, or maintain that structure, but also in case if there is any you know issues in that, or is there any challenges, they also develops that. They not or they if a manager needs to be a good leader, they need to be focused not only on system and theory of leadership, transformational leadership theory, transactional leadership theory, and Fedler's contingency model. So let's understand all these theories in detail. There is a grid of Blake and Monton managerial grid, which is given in the slide as a picture. First is center for production on the x-axis, and on y it is concern for people. So if we see one on one, the first grid, the first block, which is on a on a lower side, here the managers, that is called as improvised management, that is 1 managers that adopt this strategy score poorly on both dimensions, but put forth the bare minimum of efforts to get the job done by staff members. Disorder and turmoil are prevalent through the organization as a result of leaders' lack of concern for worker satisfaction and work deadline. It is seen that the concern of people is on a very low score, whereas the concern for production is on the highest score, which leads to that they are more concerned only on production, only on the efficiency. They are not at all concerned for their employees or their workers, which leads to the dissatisfaction among the workers, and you know uh, there is lack of concern of the leaders or the managers within an organization. If we see from other the other grid, other block, that is 9-1, where it is only the concern for the also it is known as task manager, it is known as perish or dictatorial style. Here leaders are less concerned with people and more focused on output. When they are focused on output, the design is based on McGeorge's theory X, that is 1-9, that is 9-1. Here the requirement of the employees are neglected and they serve only as a tool. According to the leader, efficiency can only be achieved through careful planning, work procedures, whenever possible, by getting rid of many people as possible. In short term, such a style is undoubtedly boost an organizational output, but because of the rigid policies and processes, substantial labor turnover is unavoidable, because the employees are treated as machines. So the production or the concern for production is so high that they only concern about the production, not only the not the people. Whereas in 1-1, it is not only even the concern for production was very low, and the concern for people was very low. So that is why it was called as improvised management. So task management, because task is more important than people. Then is middle of the road. Middle of the road is 5-5. When the leadership styles essentially involves or compromise as a leader, attempts to strike a balance between the needs of the firm and the needs of the people. The leader does not push the limits of achievement, resulting in the organization's performance being average. So employees in production needs not only to be fully satisfied in the situation. Here the leadership style is more on a compromising role. That is, the things are going on, and it is known to be as middle of road, because here the production, the balance between the needs of the firm and the needs of people are on a mid, they are on a comfort zone. Leaders are not they don't push the limits of achievement, and even they are not very people centric. Whatever is going on, it is going on like a regular basis. So there is no innovation, there is no nothing new, or the new innovative ideas or new policies are originates within an organization. Then is country club. Country club is 1-9. 1-9, here it is seen that it is defined by low task and high people orientation. It is more of the highest on the people centric, but they are not very concerned on the production, not very concerned on the task given to them. Here the leader has to play a very important role and very careful attention to the needs of people, creating a warm and welcoming environment for them. The manager believes that treating worker in a way will encourage self-motivation, result in people working hard on their own. A lack of focus on a task, stuff, might hinder production and produce questionable outcomes is seen. So here it is seen that they are enjoying their work. The organization or the leaders are very very focused. They are very people centric leaders are there, by creating a very welcoming environment, or the environment where they can communicate very easily. They work in a very collegial style. But when it comes to the organization objectives, it is not aligned. Yes, their individual objectives may reach to the highest point, but the point where the task has to be done, that is not equally assigned, or equally the assigned task is not equally integrated with the organization goals. So all these four scores are somehow needs to be work again, but the final is team leadership, that is 9-9, where this style is based on Meg Rogers' theory Y, which has been termed as the most effective style. It is known to be, it is characterized by high people and the task focus. It is not only about task, it is also about involvement of the employees, the subordinates, but the leaders feels that empowerment, commitment, trust, engagement, respect are the key elements in creating that team. And creates an atmosphere, creates an organization culture which is known to be as a good organization culture, which automatically results in high employee satisfaction and production. By the research, it is also seen that the performance is directly related with the satisfied employees. The people, the employees who are more the satisfied, they perform better. They are fall in a uh, box of 9-9, which is known to be as team leadership. So this is a Blake and Monton's managerial grid. Second theory is trait theory of leadership. Trait theory, the core traits are identified among the leaders are achievement drive, high level of effort, high level of ambition, energy, and initiative is seen. Leadership motivation, where an intense desire to lead others is reach shared goals. Honesty and integrity, which is a trait which leads to the trustworthy or reliability and open mindedness. Self confidence is another trait that believes in oneself ideas and abilities. The other traits are cognitive ability, capable of exercising good judgment, strong analytical abilities, and conceptually skilled leaders. Knowledge of business. Knowledge of business is again very important trait which the leaders are expected to be on a best of knowledge of the industry and other technical matters. Emotional maturity. Emotional maturity is very important trait on an individual level as a leader, which does not suffer from severe psychological disorders. He is known to be as well adjusted person. A leader, for example, a subordinate or an employee comes to a leader with their some emotional disturbance within their personal life or professional life. So if the leaders get along with that emotions, so it is very difficult for the subordinate to really cope up and come out of that distress. So here the emotional maturity of a leader is very important trait, where they can cope up, where they can make their subordinates feel that they are there in case if there is any emotional issues within them, if they communicate with them or something related. Other traits are charisma, creativity, and flexibility. So these traits are very important is in terms of because every when an organization appoints a leader for any project or any process, they see the leaders that they has to be trustworthy, and they has to be confident, they has to be self motivated person, because if the leader is not motivated, it is very difficult for them that they can be able to motivate their team. The other trait is achievement. Having a need of achievement is very important. Cognitive ability refers to how you know uh, they conceptually skilled. All these are they really conceptually skilled or not? The knowledge of industry and other technical matters are equally important. The emotional maturity is very important in terms of psychological disorders, and they needs to be very charismatic, they needs to be very creative, and flexibility, they needs to be very flexible in terms of their traits, because every organization needs the emotionally mature, knowledgeable person, cognitive ability person for their organization. Next theory is transformational leadership theory. Transformational leadership theory refers to the leadership where they are known to be as a transformation people. Inspirational motivation is one very important factor. If we see this picture where the model is given, the transformational leaders guide followers by providing them with a sense of meaning and challenges. They work enthusiastically and optimistically to foster a spirit of teamwork and commitment. So this inspiration is very important within an leaders, where they, because all these inspired motivation or the inspiring motivation leads to the good leaders. Second is intellectual stimulation. Such leaders encourage their followers to be innovative and creative. Innovative and creative here refers to their intellectual level, their knowledge base, how strong they are in encouraging the new ideas. Are they the originally following, or they never criticize them publicly for the mistakes. The leaders focus on what is problems and do not focus on blaming others. They take the accountability, they take the responsibility on their own. The third the within the section is idealized influence. Idealized influence is they believe in philosophy that a leader can influence followers only when he practices what he preaches, because preaching is very easy. If a leader is giving a lecture, or a leader is preaching something on some policies or procedures, and if they are not following, it is very difficult for the subordinates or the employees to follow that particular leader or to follow that particular policies and procedures. The leaders acts as role models. Role models plays a very important role for a subordinate or an employees that follow seek to emulate. Such leaders always win the trust. They are the trustworthy. The people come to them, the subordinates come to them with their, with the respect, not only because of the hierarchy or the authoritative position, but also how they can be able to follow through their action. Individualized considerations. Leaders act as mentors to their followers and reward them for creativity and innovation. The followers are treated differently according to their talents and knowledge, because this is on an individual role. This is on an individual consideration of the leaders, where the mentors are, they are not only the managers or the leaders, they are the mentors for their followers, their subordinates, their employees, and they come up with these followers are treated differently, because everybody have their own capacity and capability, own talents and their own knowledge base. So they are empowered to make the decisions and are always provided with the needed support to implement the decisions. So this is an individualized consideration. So all these four ways of transformational leadership is very important, not only on an individual basis but also on an organizational level. Next is transactional leadership theory. Transactional leadership theory is based on exchange between the leader and follower. As the term suggests, is self-explanatory, that transactions, whatever you do, you will get the reward out of that. You perform, you get the rewarded. If you don't, the corrective action follows. So this is a transaction between the leader and the subordinates, where they clarify the roles, tasks and expectations, and in return provides rewards for meeting goals and penalties for poor performance. If the subordinates or the employees are not working effectively, some punishment, some penalties are imposed to them for the corrective action, and if they perform, they get the rewards of it. It works best in structured and rule-based environment where performance standards are clearly defined. There is a comparison between transactional and transformational leaderships. So let's see a broad comparison between the transactional and transformational leadership. The leadership style where the leaders uses rewards and punishments to to motivate followers, that is transactional, whereas transformational is all about leadership style where the leaders use their own charisma and enthusiastic to inspire followers. The concept of transactional leadership is a leadership emphasizes his relationship with the followers, whereas the leader emphasizes the emphasizes on values, the ideals, the morals, and the needs of the employees. The nature of transactional is responsive. Responsive here means whatever you do, you will get out of it. And transformational is active. Best for the transactional leadership is best for busy environment, whereas transformational is best for the turbulent environment. Here the turbulent environment is in case of mergers, acquisitions, some changes going on, layoffs, or maybe in where we have seen this turbulent environment during the COVID, when the organizations were changing, the transforming from regular work to the hybrid work environment. So the transactional leadership developed for an existing organization culture, whereas in transformation, as the term is also self-explanatory, that it is in transforming or changing the current corporate culture. The style of transactional is bureaucratic because they has to go as per the rules, the procedures, whereas the transformational leadership is charismatic. Transactional leadership, there is one leader. There is only one leader who directs, who gives the direction, who gives the who are on an authoritative position. Whereas in the transformational leadership, it is seen because it is a collaborative effort, it is an integrated approach, so there can be several leaders. Preferred co-worker. Preferred co-worker, that is LPC scale. It is created on the LPC scale, which asks the leaders about the co-worker they least enjoy working with in order to gauge their attitude. This questionnaire have 16 elements and is designed to assess the leader's general attitudes towards working with the people, with their team, with their subordinates. Each item on the scale is given on single score ranging from 1 to 8, with 8 points representing their highest rating. This LPC scale includes the following items, that is good or bad, friendly or unfriendly, rejecting or accepting, unenthusiastic or enthusiastic, cold or warm, tense or relaxed, helpful or frustrating, cooperative or uncooperative, supportive or hostile, quarrelsome or harmonious, efficient or inefficient, whether the leader is gloomy or cheerful, distant or close, boring or interesting, self-assured or hesitant, or open and guarded. So on the basis of this LPC score, the items are scaled on the 1 to 8 scale. So this it states that leaders with high LPC score are relationship oriented, and the ones with the low scores are task oriented. The high LPC score leaders derive more satisfaction from interpersonal relationship and therefore evaluate the least preferred co-workers in preferably they are fairly favorable terms. On the other hand, if the LPC score leaders derive satisfaction from performance of the task and attainment of the objectives, and only after tasks have been accomplished. These leaders work on establishing good social and interpersonal relationships. Let's see what are the types of leadership. We have discussed on the different models, which is somehow related with the types of leadership, that is transformational leadership, delegate leadership, authoritative leadership, transactional leadership, and participative leadership. So leadership style and the way of leading the team is equally important. How the leaders act, how the leaders play which role, so that is defined by the style. First is transformational leadership. Transformational leadership is known to be as the chain makers. They are known to be as a person who transform, who are not only strategic by nature, but also wish to motivate the people to utilize their unique potential. They are the people who themselves are very motivated and who makes the people feel about their potential and how they can be able to accomplish when they are imagined. In business, this attempting to undergo significant shifts or transformations. Whenever there is any transformation, this style, these leaders play a very important role, and they are very powerful within an organization. Among the key characteristics of transformational leaderships are they focus on future, they focus on change. Whatever change is coming, whether they can be able to, or this organization can be able to, or the people can be able to adapt that change, how they can get involved with the change, how they can be able to make the change. So they are people centric people. Then is delegative leadership. Delegative leadership is often referred as laissez-faire. A delegative leadership style focus on delegating initiative to team members. This is regarded as having a very hands-off leadership style. This type of leadership places trust in the ability of the subordinates to carry out their duties. They don't micromanage. They don't or overly involve themselves in giving advice or feedback. They just delegate the responsibilities and make them work as per their capability and capacity. Delegative leaders empower their team leaders to use their initiatives, resources, and expertise to achieve their objectives. This can be successful leadership strategy if team members are competent and take responsibility for their work. Delegative leaderships can also lead to disagreements among team members and may split or divide a group. So delegative also the leadership also lead to disagreement, because in case they delegate or they give the task to their subordinates, if among the subordinates there is a disagreement between the group, within the team, it may create a split within the team or within the group. So this is then the authoritative leadership style is known to be as visionary, and is describe authority, because whenever we talk about authority, whenever we talk about authoritative leaders, we see that they are very visionary, they are very clear about what needs to be done, and they are very clear about the mission or the vision of the organization or their own individual objective. Those who embrace their leadership style and see themselves as mentors to their followers, they are known to be as authoritative people. In contrast to authoritarian leadership, it emphasizes on follow me approach. They always want their subordinates or the employees to follow them. Whatever rules, policies, processes, structure they have created or they are following, they want the team to follow them. They generally don't entertain the opinions or the views of their employees. By doing this, leaders set an example for others around them and motivate people to follow. It is also a type of motivation, because they are so convinced with the process or the rules, or they inspire others to follow them, because so that they cannot do the same mistakes which they have done. So this is the understanding each team member as a key component of authoritative leadership style. People around leaders who exhibit authoritative features are more likely to be inspired and motivated. Because they follow, generally it is seen that the authoritative leadership leaders uh, generally follow those practices and those policies and procedures which is tried and tested, because they must have done some mistakes and they come out of that. Now they don't want their team also to do the same mistake. So in that way they inspire, they instruct them, and they encourage them for the success or the achievement. So understanding each team member is key component of authoritative leadership style. This enables the leaders to offer advice and criticism on a more individualized basis, assisting others in succeeding. So the result is that effective leaders must be flexible, especially on their teams when they get bigger. Then is transactional leadership. Transactional leadership is an approach which focus on rewards and punishments. It is known as transactional leadership because here it is refers to managerial leadership. The you'll get it as we did it in the model also here. The focus is on you perform, you get rewarded, you don't, corrective action follows. So it more focused on the finishing the work or finishing the task. The approaches lies in strong emphasis on the structure and assuming that people will finish their work. If they finish their work, they will get the reward, they'll get the incentives. If they don't, then maybe some corrective actions can be taken, or maybe it may lead to the punishments, or it's all about doing work is all about praising, and not doing is all about criticizing. So it is also known as reward based methods. They follow this method. Rewards can be taken into different forms. They usually involve some type of financial compensations, bonuses, incentives. So it is more of a give and take approach, and more focus on efficiently adhering to traditional practices than it is on bringing about organizational transformation. Finally, it is participative leadership. Participative leadership is also known as democratic leadership. When everybody participate and encourage the managers, approach that where encourages managers to engage their staff in decision making. The managers allow their team, allow their subordinates to involve in the decision making, values their views and opinions for to to be create an inclusive environment and efficient. They are very efficient communicators also. So when the leader use the participative style of leadership, they promotes the accountability and collaboration. They follows the collaborative effort. They encourage the collaborative effort within the team instead of laying responsibility at a feet of specific individual. This frequently results in teams collective actions, collective efforts to to come up with the fixes. If something happens within a team, they ask the team how to fix it rather than going with their own procedures or going with their own rules. So this wide variety of leaders across many most of the companies have used this leadership style frequently, because the sometimes it is seen that the subordinates or the team members comes with a very effective way of solution of any issue or any problem. So maybe to get the aligning their their capabilities and their capacities of and of course their thought processes. So that is very, sometimes it is challenging also, but it is very effective when everybody comes on the same table and really discuss on the problem. They get the team generally get fix the problems very fast. The leadership style is determining factors how leaders develop their strategy, implement plans, and respond to changes. Because whenever the changes are happening, whether the change is effective or not, whether the changes are acceptable or not, or what rectification or what changes can be done on the policies and the procedures can be this feedback or this we can say feedback, or we can say views and opinions can be if well welcomed. So it creates a very good organization culture, and definitely for the benefit of the team and team members. So leaders and power dynamics, where the leaders use their power to get things done. Leaders use their personal power or positional powers to get the things done. Personal power is derived not only from title or position, but also the attitude of a person, of a leader, whereas positional power derived from the position of the leader. So leaders and bases of power is reward power, coercive power, referent power, expert power, and legitimate power, where all these powers are used to influence people to get the things done, to punish them, to make them work and associate with them. The leader's power may not only use for the powers for the disposable the type of power used for leader determine the behavior of the followers. So all these leadership and decision making is not only about delegating more responsibility, assigning independent projects, enhance leaderships, allow budget decisions, provide mentoring, offer professional enrichment. So overall, we have seen meaning, definitions, leaders, and power dynamics. So that's all for today, and I will see you in the next session. Thank you so much. Namaste.